You're still watching TVC Breakfast. We now talk about this very pertinent conversation. The federal government has graduated over 7,000 newly recruited forest guards from 7 frontline states with immediate deployment ordered to strengthen internal security and reclaim Nigeria's forests from criminal element. Now the areas include Borno, Sokoto, Yobe, Adamawa, Niger, Kwara and Kebbi states. The announcement was made following the completion of a 3-month intensive training program under the Presidential Forest Guards Initiative launched in May 2005 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, coordinated by the Office of the National Security Advisor. And the initiative is aimed at denying terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and other criminal groups access to forest and hard-to-reach areas. Now, joining us in the studio for this conversation is convener, Campaign for Dignity in Governance, Mr. Razak Olokoba. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you.
This is a very important conversation because, you know, before we wrap up the year, or before we're wrapping up the year, we've spoken about a lot of insecurity. We wake up and we see something has happened in Benue, something has happened in Plateau. Like, we can go on. And oftentimes, Nigerian citizens are just tired and they've lost hope. We talk about our borders. We see how porous our borders is. Sometimes we hear that these people that are infiltrating are not even Nigerians. They are from somewhere else, you know, not mentioning names. But now we're having over 7,000, forest guards. What do you think this will do? Do you think this is the right way to go? Do you think this is the first thing that should be done? Do you think this will actually protect, the citizens?
We have to commend the federal government for what they have done. You see, the stages we have to achieve before we open up another layer of security, which is state and local government, is to come up with this kind of institution, is to serve as a buffer for state police. And I am convinced beyond doubt that the president understands the concept of restructuring and devolution of power very well. And that's why he's taking all these steps. Because you need an institution like the civil defense, the police, and peculiar institution like the forest guards. We'll be having cosmopolitan police in places like Lagos, Creek police in places under the command of the federal government. What will they do? Is to complement eventually the work of the police, the army, and that of the state police, because the state police will need mentorship. They will need guidance. There will be jurisdictional crisis between federal and state police, where the federal police might sometimes have to federalize certain state police. These are institutions that will serve as a gap in between that. And we have to hasten it. Once we have been able to do this, we then have to proceed to the next stage. All the governors must brace off, because forest guard is not a replacement for state police.
Yeah, of course.
What differentiates them is the recruitment. Recruitment of state police should be indigenous. Because the first line reaction is still missing. And it's a big challenge in security, as an expert on security issues. When they come to my community, and I will have to start calling Sobi Barracks in Kwara. I will have to be calling, if it is Lagos, Kenya Cantonment, if it is Sokoto. Before there was the first line response where arm that cannot commit serious harm or potential danger to the society will be given to citizens. It's important to have that. The second thing is that once we have this, the federal institutions recruited from that state by the federal office, plus the state police will work hand in hand. When last month was coming up, I'll give you an example of today's state. When last month was coming up, like my colleague here, we sat down with Aswaju that time. And we said last month's recruitment has to be indigenous. So peculiarity from each wing, that was what brought some individuals to last month, that people in that area know them very well. That these are people who are strong, who command respect in the area. And that's how last month works. So in Kwara too, if you want to recruit in Kwara too, the state police in Kwara too, the challenges of each state differs. The cosmopolitan in Kwara, the challenge here is courtesy. Is ritual killing in the central area. But whereas in the suburb, kidnapping, banditry. So the state will have the capacity to be able to identify their own peculiarity. And that's why even if you look at state like Oyo. Oyo, so in the cosmopolitan area like Ibadan, is always a courtesan, ritual killing. But once you move to Oyo, it's kidnapping, banditry. The same thing goes for Ekiti. So we are able to identify all this because we work hand in hand with the state. And that's why there must be that marriage between what the federal government is doing and what should come next. There is no off track in what the president has done. So let them get to work and start doing what they are supposed to do, and let the governors also brace up. Everything the president needs to do about security has done it.
Yeah.
The person who should be dragging the Babangida are the governors. They need to brace up.
Yeah.
The moment you have collected your allocation and nobody is giving you instruction on how to spend your allocation, your security should also be your concern. You know, there are areas of challenges. There are people feel that they're more, how do we curb the excesses of the state police? And I said, people who understand the concept, always consult them before you misdefine what is state police. State police is a component part of the state, just like Ministry of Works, Ministry of Health. It's the same way state police will operate, and there will be appropriate legislation that will define rules. There will be clashes, which is the case all over the world. There's clashes between, is this a federal, local, and state road? It happens all, and there must be that legislation that will clearly define what is the role of the forest police, what is the role of the state police. There's nothing we can do to make our security work proper if this tax second year is not active. So we appeal to the president, the way he has extended the forest police, the forest guard, the way he has extended all our legislation, you must also give the governors a marching order.
Yeah.
That I want to see the blueprint. I want to see the roadmap for you to achieve state police in 3 months.
They presented blueprint. They presented their cases.
So why is it not happening?
That's the question.
Why is it not happening? And that's why we are calling on them. We need to be dragging the Babangida now. The governor of Kwara State should not go to bed and think that because there's forest guard and there's only forest. No, the governor of Sokoto, the searchlight is on him now. So your backyard is the headquarters of all these people. So he also needs to recruit about 5 to 10,000 young men committed for them to complement what you have at the moment. And for Nigerians should be rest assured. Once you have a nation, it is work in progress. Our role as citizens is to guide our government. The stage we have gotten to now is not to create problem for every solution. It's not to say that it will not work. It must work. We are the one to amortize though. That's right. We are the one we can't travel between here to here again. So let's support the government and let us knock on the doors of our governors that now is the time for state police.
Absolutely. Mr. Sean.
Yeah, if I may ask, I know we've always been having forest guard. Particularly, we know that part of their remit includes tackling illegal felling of trees in order to protect the environment and then avoid desertification. Now, with these forest guards being introduced and being trained by DSS, my presumption is that this will be under the federal government control. And then they're focusing on 7 states currently. What else needs to be done in other states that have responsibility, for the forest, like you said, the state government, but the aspect relating to this extra task that they will be carrying out, which is to make sure that forests that are ungoverned are now governed spaces. That is, we have some presence of government in there, law enforcement, one way or the other, to monitor what is going on and ensure that people living in the forest rights are protected and those who are not living in the forest are not endangered in any form. So what else do you think the government can do? Because currently it's only limited to 7 states. It's not to the whole country.
I don't know why the government is doing it in phases. That's number one. And the second thing is that the networking between federal and the state police, their duties should be well spelled out. So that the crisis between the civil defense and the police is still there. We are battling with it. Now, forest guard has come. And in the police department, they have numerous departments there. One of it is also forest. They have marine police. So they have all sorts of police. So, and the legislation that is going to come up now will do a lot of work in ensuring that there's no ambiguity at all. So the law that sets it up must clearly define areas of jurisdiction so that you will know who to prosecute when state police arrest somebody. Pickpocket, that's a state crime. Using money to procure explosive, that's a federal crime. Which one comes first? It's legislation. So what I will encourage the president to do is to sit Akpabio and the Speaker of the House down. He needs to talk to his own people. That we have to explain and address the fear of all Nigerians about this security situation in the country. Such that we must let them know vehicles are used to rob too. Will you say because of that we will not use vehicles again? So because guns find its way into the hand of criminal, there must no first line of response by Nigerians. So these are areas that the government must do in terms of advocacy. They must build a very strong advocacy around it to assure Nigerians that we are on track. What we are doing is a template for us to have a permanent solution to our problem. There must be legislation. That clearly spell it out.
Exactly.
Then the government, the president, the way it's been giving marching order on all issues. The power sector is there. All the governors are mounting it every day, except Lagos and some other states. Even state police, Lagos is doing its best. When the neighborhood came on board, you know the challenge we face with the people. We know the challenge we face with Obasanjo. But we run a strong advocacy before the Lagos people citizens accepted it. So in this wise too, it's not until now that we have state police. When Sadauno, Awolowo, Zik had a concept of a weak center, before Hiroshi with his own exuberance disrupted, he knew very well that a weak security political center is the best thing for us. So any northerner who feels that the current policing system is the best for Nigeria is not a follower of Sadauno.
My question actually has to do with the sophistication of the forest guards. I saw them yesterday, you know, in their uniform, you know, the guns they carry and all of that. And I'm wondering, they are going to be fighting Hydra-headed terrorists who, because looking at what the United States described them as, saying ISIS, and we know how sophisticated they are, the kind of weapon that they use, they are guerrilla fighters, they do not care, they don't have anything at stake other than they just want to, you know, instill terror in the minds of their victims and all of that. Do you feel that we have enough budgets and enough firepower, you know, that we've so much trained these people in order to face these terrorists, these enemies of Nigeria?
It has to do with the equipment, right? But you see, intelligence matters a lot. Every security person or institution will tell you that security matters a lot. If the strike in Sokoto had been taken to another place, it's going to be a waste of time and resources. But the precision comes from intelligence. So,
but we've not heard that people were killed in Sokoto, like, you know, the terrorists were killed, were decimated.
It's as a result of intelligence. So if there's intelligence, you see, the weapon they carry will not matter much. But if you don't know their capacity, if you don't know the number and all the things we need to know about them, it will be difficult. And there's a barrier in security if I don't know you, if you come from other states. But with forest guard and state police, that barrier will be removed. And that's affecting a lot of things in our intelligence in Nigeria. That the local people should be involved legitimately. There must be legislation that the blueprint we gave the governors in the Southwest was that the Okada riders, the fueling station, they will buy fuel, the yam salad on the road. We have their blueprint. We gave it to the governors in the Southwest. I don't know whether they are using it. But when they came to recruitment, they started giving party people, PRO, bring to. I said, for security, people must have passion for it. So security, intelligence matters a lot. That it is the people of that area is going to help the fight a lot. We can't remove the whole question of sophistication. And I'm convinced that the police institutions in Nigeria, we have enough men that can carry out those operations. But we are seeing that the institution of security in Nigeria, there's something wrong with it. Once we address that, the absence of gun and bullets is not our problem. But we are talking about the architecture, the institution is not properly structured. That's what we are addressing now. And the first layer is this forest guard. The second layer, I insist, should be the state police. The funding is federal government for state for the forest guard. Don't let the government run away from it.
Yeah.
When state police come, each state should remove money from its pocket to fund its own security. We have said severally that any state that cannot fund its own activity, then why are you a state?
It should collapse into
other states.
Yeah.
So the whole question of I don't have capacity is not there. You are the governor of your state. You voted and you had your own manifesto that you are going to run. It's not governorship to be expecting money from Abuja all the time.
Yeah.
And you limit
because that's a structure.
And you limit your expenditure to what you are going to be getting from Abuja.
But
That means you are not performing. So where you're thinking camp, all the governors, we only have Lagos as example.
Yeah.
From where Tinubu took over to where they are today. Other states should learn.
Yeah.
Not to add to the governor. So the governors must know that it is their time to complement, and Nigeria must not allow them to sleep. We have to keep saying it. We have to keep tweeting. The governor of my state, it's time for state police.
Yeah.
No excuse again, because the village that the incident happened, if they have just 500 trained personnel that is called local police, those miscreants that is less than 50 will not overrun the entire state.
You know, because the issue of state policing is something that this is not the first time that you're on the show and we're talking about state policing, and we are just wondering what is holding us back, because we also know the president had made a bold statement that we are ready for state policing, we are not going back. But for me, I just want to talk about how we can be better, because we have lingered and talked about insecurity for such a long time. You spoke about something and you said that it's not just the government, we all need to do it ourselves. But I tell you, Mr. Razak, at some point the citizens have lost hope. When you wake up every morning and somebody has died, somebody has done this, you kind of lose hope and you feel like, is there even any better? But we're seeing now that all of these things are being put in place. We're seeing that the president is fighting very hard to make sure that we get that peace. But let's talk about this forest guards now, you know, over 7,000. How soon will we see, you know, how effective will it be, you know, because we don't just want to hear stories that, oh, we've brought people, but what is really happening, you know? How soon will we get to start seeing the effects?
They have to be deployed immediately.
So how do we start? How soon do we see the effects?
They have to deploy. The president has to deploy them immediately. And like I said, the SSS headquarters. I watched one of the intelligence officer in channels, and you also brought it to your own station, TV station, TVC. He said the level of intelligence that is at the disposal of the DSS is enormous. So the forest guard should start working on it. The sources we have recorded in Sokoto should not be lost.
Yeah.
They have to take over. And like I said, the people of that community will be able to relate with who are forest guard, will be able in conjunction with the people, because they have official power now to be able to pursue and also prosecute criminals. Unlike before, that if you arrest a criminal, you hand them over to institution, next day you won't see him again. So there's power of prosecution for them.
So they have it. They can arrest.
Why would they put them off if they don't have power of prosecution? That means
so it's not that they will arrest criminals and take them to the police.
Of course. They have power of prosecution. They should have.
No, you're saying they should have. You're not sure.
No. It's not my opinion. Any enforcement just must have power of prosecution. It's incomplete. I must not be telling the president or the parliament that they must have. Okay. It's a procedure. So why are they?
Actually under the DSS. So notice.
That's right.
And DSS has the power of prosecution. Right. So it makes the work very, very easy. Right. And like I say, when you say what is the challenge we have with the state police, you see, there are people who are hiding under the whole question of, if they restructure Nigeria, a particular ethnic group will suffer. And that's why I spoke about our northern brothers. This is the dream of Sadauna. It's a weak center. It doesn't want this kind of institution. So any northerner that is afraid of a devolution of power, it's not a follower of Sadauna. If an able man is saying that this structure is perfect, then you are not following Zeke. And for the Southwest, nobody there said that this is what I will all want. So for us, we want a situation where component parts will be able to determine their own timetable, their own roadmap, and their own blueprint on security. And that is the only way out. The president is twisting his neck left and right to impress Nigerians. And Nigerians now are not supposed to give up. When someone is driving seat, you handed over your vehicle to him. You can't give up. You want us to crash now.
Of course,
you must
can't
supervise.
give up, but
So this is a time for supervision. We have supervised the president to the point where there's a collaboration between our own forces with the United Nations.
Well, some will argue that,
that
it's not a collaboration as well. Some will argue that it's not a
there
collaboration.
will always be that kind of
speculation.
Forest Guard came on board. So it's your duty and my duty now to know that our role now is to insist and be assertive that you must complement what the federal government has done.
Mr. Razak, it's quite easy to say, you know, I believe in Nigeria so much. I know that Nigeria will get better, but if you're a person that you have been affected directly by it, this thing we're singing is going to be quite difficult. So I feel like at the end of the day, what we should be looking at is to totally fight this insecurity, to make sure that families are safe. We saw the St. Mary's students, although they were released back, they still have that trauma. You know, we're entering a new year. Our schools, how safe are our schools? A lot of people are afraid to take their children to school because they think, oh, would they be kidnapped? Will I be asked them to pay ransom? So I feel like it's just more than we talking that, oh, be patriotic. Yes, be patriotic, love Nigeria, but we also need to see that this insecurity is going away, actually.
Our problem is not beyond redemption, though.
Yeah, of course.
There are countries in the world that has gotten to where we go to. They came out of it.
Yeah.
Because they were dissolved. So the nation started on a tripod. The people, the system, and the leadership. For the leadership, the segment that is seen to be doing things is actually the federal government.
Yeah.
What the local government doing, what the government doing, what is the state government doing, and that's for the local government. And for the system, is the institution we have spoken extensively about now, that we have to know that institutional deficiency matters a lot when you want your nation to work. When your institution is very, very weak, it will not perform optimally. And the security institution in this country, the personnel are perfect. But institution is rickety, it's in a rickety form.
Yeah.
How can one IG be distributing security taxes for 250 million Nigerians? It's not possible. And you now deny Nigerians the limited power they must have to defend themselves. Where in the world does that work?
Yeah.
Tell me, where in the world does that work when we have less than 100 million policemen to defend properties and life of 250 million? Where in the world does that work? So that's why I say the institution that is there at the moment is the problem of Nigeria. It is what gave and emboldened the criminal to use Nigeria as the headquarter of their criminal activities. Because they know in each community, there's after club, after knife, you cannot attack them with anything. They know that you can't. When police catch you with a gun or anything, you will be arrested.
Yeah.
But with the new institution in place now, they know that there will be casualty on both sides. Criminal will think twice. Anywhere in the world where citizens have access to defend themselves, they have a rethink that there must be vulnerable on both sides. Once the criminal know that there will be vulnerable on both sides, they will be more careful. They will be more reasonable.
That's the theory of balance of terror.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you actually look at this issue of forest guard more closely, again, I understand the concept about the need to pick up intelligence to make sure that the forests are governed rather than being ungoverned species, the problem we have with Sambisa and so many of them. Now, but coming back to this issue of state police, how do you intend or how do you see the state police relationship with the forest guard, particularly bearing in mind that the state control and owns the land, owns the forest, the federal government is in charge of the forest guard through the DSS, and how do you intend to ensure synergy between the DSS, absolutely, and the state police, which you've been advocating for?
We can't have one layer of security. Okay. As we have forest police. In fact, there must be transport police. There must be marine police.
We have transport police. Unofficial transport police.
Where?
The MCLU almost boys and
No.
We have the
we have such in Lagos, which is the last man.
We have railway police command.
We have so
no, I'm referring to the unofficial one.
We are in line to have forest police. In Niger Delta, there will be Creek police. There will be this numerous layer of policing. In Nigeria, I have just only one before, which is the challenge. Just one police, one IG to secure my life and your life, 250 million. And he would deploy one strategy for Nigeria. No roadblock today. There are states that need roadblock. Some states don't. It is the state that will determine that, not the IG.
Not the
That's
IG.
right. That's right.
The tinted glass permit, look at the way it's being rubbished by Nigerians. Federal government says that there's an intelligence that what items and aids kidnapping is, and Nigerians are turning it upside down.
That's right.
But if in each state will run advocacy and complement it, that if you want to live in our state, this is our law. In other states, in your state, if you want to take glass permit, you can use it. But in our state, but we left it only for Nigerian police to be doing. And we are able to survive them.
I know
they go to court every day.
Our time is
and
short.
they mess the police, they embarrass them.
Our time is short, but people have argued that, why ask for a permit? If you have a permit, you can have the tinted glass. A kidnapper can also ask for a permit and have the tinted glass. So is it just saying we should not have tinted?
No, if your car did not come with factory fitted, you cannot go and tint it.
Yeah.
It is illegal for you to tint your glass.
This is a conversation for another day.
If you tint your glass, that is the kind of people who say the police should arrest. Why will you even tint your glass in the first instance?
But some people just do it for privacy, actually.
Which privacy?
This is a discussion for
not convenient.
Another
security
day.
You wake up in the middle of the night, you lock all your door. That's security for you. So security is when something is wrong. There will be a law that is universal that all of us must be willing to follow. It's not convenient. It's not the comfort.
Well, I think for us as a country, we need to make sure that we do really, really strong things to make sure that we get peace and tranquility in our country. Thank you so much, Mr. Razak Olokoba. It's always a pleasure. It's always an honor to have you on the show. Your insights are so amazing.
Thank you very much.
So much.